Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to my weekly Wildcard Wednesday video on my blog and YouTube channel. The card designs I share today are a little more technique driven, but nothing too complicated. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you shop with me. For today's card, I'm featuring the stamp set Pocket Full of Happiness. Now, I don't even have the die that cuts out the little pocket, but I actually really like this stamp set on its own. So I didn't have to buy the die. So I'm doing a little watercoloring with my watercolor pencils today. So I am using StazOn ink. StazOn ink is a solvent-based ink and it will not smudge with water. And I also am using shimmery white cardstock, which it holds up to water and moisture a little bit better than, say, Whisper White. Now, the ultimate would be to use watercolor paper all the time, but I chose not to. I'm not going to add too much color to this anyway, or too much moisture. So I have both assortments of my watercolor pencils in this little jar here. And I also keep my Wink of Stellas that have been emptied of their sparkle, and I refill them so they become like a little water brush too. And I have aqua painters in there and that sort of thing. Anyway, I just keep them all in a little jar. It looks very artsy on my shelf. So anyway, what I'm doing here is you see the outline of the flower there? So I colored that in with the Flirty Flamingo, and then I alternated and I colored some of the Flirty Flamingo on the petals. And then this is the pumpkin pie marker. So I'm going in and I'm doing the exact opposite. So there's pumpkin pie and Flirty Flamingo on both of the flowers, regardless of if they're in the outline or the full petal. And I did the same with Garden Green, and this is Old Olive. And then I needed to lighten up some of the Old Olive, I think. So I went in there with my Granny Apple Green watercolor pencil. Now, here I go with my blender pen. When you purchase a blender pen, you actually get 3 blender pens. So they're very affordable. They don't dry up very often. And, well, unless you keep the lid off or whatever, but you have 3. So they last a long time. Anyway, you just smooth over the watercoloring that you've done, and it smooths it out. It's very similar to if you've ever seen an artist use pencil crayons and Gamsol, or for you Americans, they're colored pencils in Gamsol. Gamsol is like a mineral spirit. So this is very similar to that. I don't know if it's a mineral spirit or not. I don't know what kind of juice is in this pen, but it doesn't like give off a lot of liquid. It just seems to smooth it. It gives you enough to smooth out your watercoloring. So it's kind of perfect. And I didn't do anything special. There was nothing that I was doing here that a person couldn't do themselves. There's no shading. It's more like color blocking. Basically, I'm making my own patterned paper. So that's what I'm doing, using, just a few colors, throwing in some green for a little bit of reprieve, and that's all she wrote. So I'm using the same color ink, StazOn ink, for my sentiment that says, "Thanks ever so much." And I used a stitched circle from my Stitch Shapes dies. And then just with my favorite adhesive, I'm adding that to, I think it was Old Olive, and then to my thick Whisper White card base. And then I'll pop the stitched circle sentiment piece up on dimensionals. And of course I had to bling out this card. So I put rhinestones in all of the flower centers. I left them blank for that reason. So this card has, I don't know, probably 9 or so rhinestones on it. It's very blingy. I love it. That's my card for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you click that subscribe button. If you need anything and you're Canadian, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I'm happy to help. Again, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.